Let's recapitulate on what we have studied in the previous module of this lesson. The story is narrated in first person. It is the first hand experience of a vet who treated a dog named Tricky. Tricky, as you all know, was the most pampered dog of a superfluously rich woman called Mrs. Pumphrey. Her mindless feeding and Tricky's greediness for food landed him in trouble. The veterinary surgeon, Mr. Harriet, took Tricky into his custody in order to save him. Here is a fascinating sneak peek into James Harriet's famous surgery, which has remained a very popular tourist destination. This bastion of Harriet has provided him a staple for his world famous books, which are still loved and sold widely. Let's continue to know how Tricky was treated in his renowned surgery at number 23 Kirkgate, Thrisk, North Yorkshire, England. Let's move on to the section 2. At the surgery. Surgery here refers to a place where medical practitioner treats the patients. At the surgery, the household dogs searched round me. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack with dull eyes, and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet. The dogs, after sniffing round him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored him. I made up a bed for him in a warm, loose box next to the one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days, I kept an eye on him. To keep an eye on something or somebody is an idiomatic usage. It refers to being watchful and to be observant about something. I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surroundings. And on the third, he began to whimper when he heard the dogs in the yard. When I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe, the greyhound, and his friends. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with the surplus fat. Later that day, I was present at feeding time. I watched while Tristan slopped the food into the bowls. Slopping here refers to the act of pouring or splashing a liquid or a semi solid substance into a container. Slopping especially refers to pouring in of dog's food. Here is the glossary for this section. While I want you to take note of all the words given here for understanding the lesson better, you are expected to give a specific focus to the word surgery. Surgery, in British sense, is a doctor's office where the doctors treat or advise patients. It also refers to the treatment or procedure involving major or minor operations for removing, repairing, or replacing a specific part of the body. This is widely known and understood idea of surgery. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sounds of high speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meal. When they had finished, Tricky took a walk round the shining bowls, licking casually inside one or two of them. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. From then on, his progress was rapid. He had no medicinal treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. He discovered the joys of being bowled over, tramped on, and squashed every few minutes. He became an accepted member of the gang, an unlikely, silky little object among the shaggy crew. Shaggy crew here refers to the hairy, rough pack of dogs that the narrator was raising in his house. Among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at mealtime and hunting rats in the old hen house at night. He had never had such a time in his life. All the time, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convalescing rapidly. Convalescing means to recover after illness. The word convalescing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. She started to bring round, fresh eggs, 2 dozens at a time, to build up Tricky's strength. For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal. Yet another glossary, yet another set of difficult words. I want you to take note of them. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. Constitution here refers to the materials that were supplied for the purpose of building health and strength. In this case, it is Tricky's constitution. What were the materials supplied? Was wine, brandy, eggs, and so on. Were all supplied to build up or to make Tricky regain his health from his illness. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. They were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. Now, well, who do you think that is referred here for having deep content? No doubt it's Harriet and his accomplices who were enjoying whatever was sent for Tricky for regaining health. It was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest, but I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering and after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal. Gleaming black metal refers here to the gleaming black colored car. The figure of speech used here is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech where the part stands for the whole. The gleaming metal parts of the car stand for the car itself here, and so it is synecdoche. So, a gleaming black metal drew up outside the surgery. The chauffeur. The chauffeur is a private driver appointed by the private owners to drive their car for their personal purposes. So the chauffeur opened the door and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey almost lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better?" "Yes, he's fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go fetch him." I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling around, round and round the lawn, and in their midst, ear flapping, tail waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lithe. Lithe here refers to a flexible, fit figure, hard muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the door. Here is the glossary for yet another set of difficult words for you from this section. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when Tricky saw his mistress, he took off from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. She gave a startled "Oh!" and then had to defend herself as she swam over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, none of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriet," she cried, "how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery." Here is a quick recap of this section for you. The ailing dog Tricky was brought to the surgery of the vet forcibly by the vet himself. The vet initially gave him nothing but water until he wishfully sought to have some food. Tricky had learnt by and by the art of being with his kind and the joys of playing, etc. Mrs. Pumphrey relentlessly visited the surgery to inquire about Tricky. The narrator had dodged her as much as possible and said that Tricky was fine and convalescing. The word convalescing had a very typical effect on Mrs. Pumphrey, that she started arriving with dozens of eggs, wine, and brandy for building up Tricky's strength. The narrator did not give him anything of what Mrs. Pumphrey sent for Tricky. Instead, he and his companions enjoyed the treats ceremoniously. He even thought of keeping Tricky as a permanent guest for the sake of luxuries that arrived for Tricky's sake. Finally, he called Mrs. Pumphrey to hand over Tricky. Mrs. Pumphrey was so happy and declares gratefully that it was the triumph of the surgery Tricky had undergone. This is comprehension check 2 for you. Question number 1. Is the narrator as rich as Tricky's mistress? No, the narrator doesn't seem so or sound so, because he makes a special mention about the extra eggs, wine, and brandy he was enjoying with his companions. Had he been rich, he would never have thought of keeping Tricky as his permanent guest for the sake of luxuries that he was receiving from Mrs. Pumphrey for improving her dog's health. Question number 2. How does he treat the dog? The doctor did not treat Tricky in any special manner. In fact, he didn't treat him at all. All he did was to make Tricky brush up his natural instincts, staying with other dogs he raised. He made him discover the joys of being with the companions, playing and hunting. Tricky became alright once he was made to work out his way to food and not being overfed without being asked. Now, question number 3. Why is he tempted to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest? Mr. Harriet thought of keeping Tricky as his permanent guest for the sake of all luxuries he was receiving from Mrs. Pumphrey as part of building up Tricky's strength. He enjoyed starting his day with eggs, sustaining with midday wine, and ending the day with luxurious wine. So these are the reasons Mr. Harriet wanted to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest. Question number 4. Why does Mrs. Pumphrey think the dog's recovery is a triumph of surgery? The answer could be Mrs. Pumphrey felt that Tricky recovered only due to the surgery. She was happy that Tricky recovered from his state of illness and turned into an active, hard-muscled animal only due to the doctor's effort. Let's discuss the significance of the title, A Triumph of Surgery. As told to you already, surgery could refer to two things. One is the doctor's office where he treats his patients. It also refers to a procedure involving major or minor operations, removing, repairing, or replacing of a body part. The point of discussion here is how Mrs. Pumphrey had taken it. The truth was that the doctor had not treated Tricky in any special way Mrs. Pumphrey had thought of. He saw to it that Tricky stayed hydrated and understood the joys of being with his kind and staying active. His involvement and workout with other dogs turned him into a hard-muscled, lithe animal. His transformation made Mrs. Pumphrey think that it was due to some surgical procedure. This reflects upon her ignorance that only pampering was love and expensive treatments could only make people better. The surgeon had proved it wrong. The title given by Harriet himself suggests a sarcastic undertone of his treatment being referred to as the supposed surgery. The next point of discussion is the use of figurative language. The story is quite a subtle and a humorous one, and there is an extensive use of metaphoric language all through. We are going to discuss two prominent figures of speech the narrator has dealt with. The first one is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech in which a part is made to represent the whole and vice versa. For example, the gleaming black metal here is referring to the gleaming metal parts of the car, which refers in turn to the car itself. The next prominent figure of speech is irony. The title itself is quite ironic. Irony refers to situations where there is a gap between reality and expectations, especially when such a gap is created for dramatic or humorous effect. Mrs. Pumphrey's declaration that Tricky had recovered due to a surgery suggests a situational irony, wherein there was no surgery performed, yet the success was ascertained to an unperformed surgery. Now let's discuss the character sketches of the central characters. First and foremost is Mrs. Pumphrey. She was a wealthy woman with lots of resources. She owns a dog, Tricky, which is her prized possession. She treats Tricky no less her child. Her love for Tricky knew no bounds, which makes her blindly overindulgent to choose his preferences over his health and well-being. The whole lot of beds, coats, bowls, dishes, and the choice of food that she chooses to feed Tricky would all prove this. She was so kind-hearted and gentle, who was always worried and agonized over the slightest of problems. She was so simple, unquestioning, and easy to please. At the same time, she was so uninformed too. She was so grateful and sentimental for what the vet had done for her loving dog. She thought that the pet had improved only due to a surgery performed by the vet. Next, let's discuss the kind of dog Tricky is. The entire story revolves around Tricky. He is the much loved pet of Mrs. Pumphrey. He is overfed and obese. Mrs. Pumphrey's faulty feeding habits makes him so sickly. The vet, Dr. Harriet, takes him forcibly into his custody at number 23 Kirkgate, Yorkshire. Tricky learns the art of playing and seeking food with his fellow dogs. He turns into a fit animal because of his doctor's thoughtful treatment. Let's discuss the character sketch of Dr. Harriet now. He was so empathetic, whose shrewdness and thoughtfulness transformed the dog Tricky. He proves himself to be thoroughly professional and intuitive in his treatment towards the dog. He tackles Mrs. Pumphrey so well that he takes Tricky into his custody despite her wailings. He knew his job so well that he allows Tricky to get on his feet at his own pace while keeping him hydrated. He was very smart and practical that he manipulates whatever arrives for Tricky's sake to his avail. His experience and knowledge to deal with the potential difficulties proves him to be clever. His presence of mind and thoughtful behavior combined together makes him the best vet. Now it is time to discuss the questions under Think About It section. Question number 1. What kind of a person do you think the narrator, a veterinary surgeon, is? Would you say he is tactful as well as full of common sense? The narrator, James Herriot, who was also a veterinary surgeon, was very smart and practical. He was very shrewd to understand Tricky's condition, and he saw to it that Tricky got all right in an environment suited for him at that moment. He was so tactful and uses his common sense to bring Tricky out of a condition which would rather make him completely ill and would pave way to his death rather. Question number 2 for you. Question 2 has two bits. First bit is, do you think Tricky was happy to go home? Yes, of course. Tricky was very happy to go home. We could learn this from his expression of love towards his mistress after being retained in the narrator's surgery for about 2 weeks. The second bit in the same question, what do you think will happen now after Tricky being handed over to Mrs. Pumphrey? Quite obviously, in the name of taking good care of Tricky after surgery, Mrs. Pumphrey would overfeed him like before. Tricky, as we all know, doesn't know to refuse food. He would probably end up obese and sickly like before. Question 3. Do you think this is a real life episode or mere fiction? Or is it a mixture of both? This could probably be a real life episode with a mixture of fictional elements because Harriet was a successful veterinary surgeon who has been, iconized in Britain. Films have even been made. So I think this should perhaps be a real life episode. Well, let's move on to talk about it section. This episode describes the silly behavior of a rich woman who is foolishly indulgent, perhaps because she is lonely. Do you think such people are merely silly or can their actions cause harm to others? The story describes the behavior of a foolish, indulgent woman. Her actions are a result of her lack of exposure and an unpretentious love for her pet. But she had failed to understand that too much of anything is too bad, and in this way, her actions could have caused harm to her loving pet, Tricky. Question 2. Do you think there are also parents like Mrs. Pumphrey? Yes, there are parents like Mrs. Pumphrey. In order to prove that they are loving and caring, they attempt to fulfill every demand, no matter what, whether it is suitable for the child or not, they are trying to fulfill it. Take the example of use of mobile phones and game portals. Anything within limits under surveillance is right. Anything beyond that is not right at all. Question number 4. What would you have done if you were in the narrator's place? I leave this question entirely for you. I wish you could analyze and synthesize the ideas you have learned from the reading and explanation of this story.